Pegging isn't new for me, friendo, but it is for Disney.
If nostalgia's a drug, then Deadpool and Wolverine are the dealers you like to keep on speed dial. This was the film that broke the shackles of the MCU post-Endgame and has become the franchise's first billion-dollar gross since then. That is, of course, if we don't count the collaborative Spider-Man No Way Home with Sony. There are, as expected, tons of scenes that are worthy of the TV region's praise, and we're kicking things off today with the top moments from Deadpool and Wolverine.
Let's give the people what they came for.
Let's go.
Wait! I'm warning you, I'm not alone.
It's top 10 territory now, baby, so strap yourself in, but not like Wade does with Vanessa. The scene in question is a lot more masculine than that, because we've got Deadpool facing off against the TVA soldiers, and oh boy, does he make a mess or what. It starts right from the intro of the movie with Deadpool reminding us that we are indeed watching an R-rated film. The gore and blood on display was definitely indicative of Deadpool's standard tropes, and it actually continues right after the flashback too. There are lots of cool moments here, especially when Deadpool uses the OG Logan's adamantium claws to fight the TVA dudes, ending up in some rather awkward positions whilst he's at it. Man, that looked really painful, regardless of whether you were the TVA or not. But the most out-of-pocket moment was when Ryan Reynolds had to defend Canada Will Smith style. It's so typical of Deadpool to do such a thing, and all of us nodded in agreement right as we saw it as well. I wonder if the actual Will Smith wanted to slap Ryan after watching this.
Get my country's name out of your mouth.
This movie did depend on its cameos a lot, but nothing will compare to when we saw the likes of Chris Evans, Pyro, Toad, Azazel and Juggernaut show up. Of course, the biggest impact was obviously Evans, but I don't think we quite appreciate what it felt like to see the other mutant villains as well. I mean, Azazel could have been such a badass villain to watch in the X-Men series, especially if he was put up against Nightcrawler. Yes, I'm still considering him to be the father, and I'm not going to listen to some loser comic writer. Then, there's obviously Pyro, who developed into a strong villain back in the X-Men trilogy, and maintained his menace even in this film. Toad and Juggernaut were also nice additions because these were likeable villains due to their general personas. Cameos like these truly made it feel as if this was a proper homage to the Fox universe, signalling a hopefully promising future ahead for the mutants.
Oh, you must be this year's Juggernaut. Thank you.
I'd keep your voices down. She don't like the chatter.
She's gonna love you. How about now?
The mask is really intimidating, huh? It's like Batman, except he can move his neck.
Leave it to Deadpool to make sure the DC universe isn't spared in a Marvel movie. He already fired shots back at the Henry Cavill scene when he spoke about how they mistreated their Superman. However, the real damage was dealt to Batman when Wade commented on how Wolverine looked with his mask on. Of course, Logan was also threatening Paradox at the time, so it's natural for him to look scary, but I have to admit that Deadpool was kind of right because of the eye design. But yeah, Bruce Wayne caught astray when Wade said Wolverine with his mask looked like Batman who could move his neck. He shouldn't keep getting away with this, but he evidently is. Man, Ben Affleck really can't catch a break, can he? Out of all the characters that got violated in this movie, Affleck has played 2 of them.
Wait, is it Magneto? Dear sweet God in heaven, let it be Magneto, because with him...
He's dead.
It's safe to say that Wade Wilson is a massive fanboy when it comes to legacy characters. Needless to say, Magneto's one of them, so you could understand his excitement when the prospect of Eric being in this movie tickled his nether regions. Alas, the mention of the character was to confirm his death at the hands of Cassandra, so Wade's reaction was somewhat warranted there. Bro tried to salvage something from the situation by trying to utilize his helmet against the bold villainess, but he had to be dealt yet another savage blow when the others told him that Cassandra destroyed the helmet as well. I can totally understand why he has anger issues regarding such things, because even I'd get really mad if I was in the same situation. One important thing he forgot to mention though was whether the Magneto in question was Michael Fassbender or Sir Ian McKellen. I guess we're never gonna know.
Now, I know Magneto's dead, but I'd venture to guess that his helmet is lying around here somewhere.
Cassandra melted a helmet after she killed him.
My God, he's gonna say it!
Say what?
Avengers!
Flame on!
Sorry, what?
Okay, so technically I've already mentioned Chris Evans showing up in this movie, but I want to bring your attention to the fact that he's actually played 2 Marvel roles. Naturally, we would assume he's Captain America, as did Deadpool, who was in for probably the biggest disappointment of his life since the collapse of Star Wars. The way Chris was hyping everyone up in his battle against Pyro, it really felt as if he was going to summon a shield and throw it at his enemy. I mean, Wade couldn't even hold his excitement and prematurely released the iconic Avengers Assemble line. However, Chris wasn't Captain America here, he was the Human Torch, so listening to the words "Flame on" had everyone in splits. This was such a perfectly timed moment that it definitely needed a separate entry dedicated to it. The way he lost to Pyro may have been a bit controversial because I'm sure Johnny Storm can do better than that, but hey, it's all about the entertainment, isn't it? Plus, this is nothing compared to what Cassandra does to him later.
I don't...
How long I've been waiting for this. Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
Oh yeah, it's time for the large-scale battles now, starting with the others taking on Cassandra's mutant army. This was definitely epic in its own way, as you got to see Blade, Elektra, Gambit and X-23 all showcase their moves after a very long time. Gambit may have only been a character in the X-Men Origins film, but his powers were pretty neat, as could be seen in the way he had everyone exploding thanks to his cards. Blade and Elektra are pretty solid in their own ways too, but the best of the lot had to be Laura, who not only flaunted her claws, but was also able to take down the freaking Juggernaut with stealth and precision. The way his body just sits there later on without a head is almost as if she made him some kind of trophy. All in all, this was definitely fan service done right, and I hope we get to see more of this in future films. I did mention him wearing the mask before, but come on, this is the moment when he actually dons it and it sent shivers down my spine. We've been so used to seeing Hugh Jackman as Wolverine without the mask that it almost felt weird to see him with it. I mean, it was definitely a wise move to have the actor show his face because that's kind of what made him a global phenomenon eventually. However, there's something about faithful comic book adaptations that make this moment so perfect. Even Deadpool couldn't hold back his excitement, and he just knew that Logan meant business now that he'd got the mask on. I'd mention what happens after this, but that would kind of mess with the structure of this video.
Holy shit! You saved the good stuff for special occasions?
Killing mostly.
Let's give the people what they came for.
Let's go.
Okay, so there are multiple battles between Deadpool and Wolverine in the movie, and the car fight was definitely special in its own way, but I just have to go with their first proper encounter that happened in the Void. Whether it's Wolverine assuming the position or even charging away like an actual animal, we got exactly what we wanted here. Even Deadpool had to break the fourth wall to let the nerds know that this was a moment for their socks to come out. The bullets popping out of Wolverine's body was the best indicator that a fight between these two would never end because of their regenerative abilities. Also, the broken down Fox logo behind in the Void was a pretty meta joke. The best part was obviously when Logan gained the advantage and was about to finish off Deadpool the same way he ended the fake Deadpool all the way back in 2009. Don't you just love a good callback?
Ew! Gotcha!
I take it they're not friendly.
Goodness, no. Sorry about this, boys. Mission over.
See, this is why I didn't want to expand further on the mask scene. The Battle of the Deadpools deserved its own entry because of all the chaos it brought to the party. Just look at how Logan goes berserk here. Bro looked more ferocious than ever, and he clearly seems like he was having fun chopping down all those Deadpool variants. The bus sequence was particularly brutal, and the shot of both of our heroes jumping out victoriously is one that needs to be framed, even though Wade kind of messes up with the landing. Then there's a hilarious revelation that a lot of these Deadpool variants also regenerate, but the real MVP here is none other than Peter Poole.
After all that, the only thing they're gonna remember is that god-awful dismount!
It's kind of obvious that the grand finale will take top honors of this list. This was the moment where Deadpool and Wolverine not only saved the world, but also solidified their friendship. It was a classic case of the hero arriving just in the nick of time as Deadpool couldn't do it by himself. The claws coming out to slash the machine right before the timeline disintegrated was perfect. And of course, how can I not mention those insane abs on Hugh Jackman as his shirt ripped apart? Like, damn, I don't care if you went without water for a day to look like that. It's ridiculous to have such a physique when you're closing in on 60. But yeah, the real value is in both the titular hero saving the day after an intense struggle. All hail the new saviors of the MCU. Hope you like this video. Please subscribe to the TV Region, and here's another video I know you're going to enjoy.